everyone, welcome back to our playthrough of Disco Elysium. What we're gonna do today is, well, I have zero idea if I'm being honest, but I'm sure there's stuff we can do. We're not talking to these folks yet because they suck, so we're just gonna go outside. That is for sure. If you do like this playthrough, remember to like and subscribe, leave a comment and all that noise, and we will just get into it. What's this? Okay, we already did that. I don't know how to get up there to this lady. Let's talk to this fuck and get it out of the way.
You missed a good show before. A kid came by and completely fucked the tree to pieces.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno! Stop choking, Kuno! The faggot has got you in a chokehold!
Kuno's not fucking choking.
Choked you out there. Serves you right for using Victoria. Shit. All right. Simmer down. I think we all learned a lesson. That's what you get.
Fuck you did. Kuno's gonna keep saying kipped forever now. Kipped. Shit. The fuck did you want anyway? You got your fuck back down. Now let's talk normal shit.
Oh, now you want a normal conversation?
Yes. Kuno wants a normal conversation. Ask normal shit, please.
I talked to Manana about the armor. He told me you promised to sick the pigs on him. He said to thank you, wasn't too keen on chasing down armor anyway. He said you're now the king of the entire Jamrock. I don't know. Maybe we should compliment him?
North Jamrock. Kuno meant everything north of 881.
Okay.
The rooster fucked Kuno's words up. Kuno doesn't do south. Doesn't fuck with the madre.
Kuno sent your fat ass running around like jello!
Look, pig. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on.
I'll remember this, Kuno.
You got fucked. You got fucked, pig. Fucked bad. Of course you're gonna remember this. Now get the fuck out of here, griefing the Kuno. After this shit, you better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Kuno's face.
Yeah, real interesting.
I found your shack.
You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did you get in?
I pushed
and
aside
then what? You fucking there. You fucking Kuno's kingdom.
He's trying to fuck at you again, Kuno.
Yeah, I found that plate. Are you on drugs, kid?
That's where Kuno gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno shits down. Kuno rides the fucking lightning in there, pig.
So riding the lightning means that you're getting electrocuted in prison.
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old, but you could have that sparkle in your eyes.
What's with it,
It's
though?
a vitamin, pig. Don't you know anything?
You could use some.
Okay, whatever.
Okay, whatever. You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game. Kuno grows through like a tube a day.
Jesus.
And you look like you could use a battle.
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno. He's gonna use it against you, Kuno.
It's just
You're
magnesium.
not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like
Why do you have a
didn't
hangover?
Do anything? Like you stayed home playing with your choo-choo?
Why do you...
Fuck you, pig. Don't do mag. You're gonna OD and you're gonna fucking die.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom.
Let's talk about
The
your
fuck
shacking
do
in.
you want with it?
What's with the pig
Oh,
head?
that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape.
Cool pig head. I liked it. I got one too. No. Some kind of musician?
Yeah. Kuno plays on snuff radio, fucks pigs, live, fucks their heads off. Kuno's a cop killer.
Oh.
Good
but
call, Pigmeister. don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with it?
You ever climbed the
Look
ladder?
at that fucking shit! You're trying to get Kuno killed!
So would you say the ladder is unclimbable?
Fuck does Kuno know? Kuno's not a fucking acrobat.
You're...
The lieutenant takes a quick note in his notebook.
It's a trap, Kuno! Don't climb it, Kuno!
I was wondering about the trash
Don't
container.
be wondering about Kuno's shit, pig.
I've got a very strong hunch there's something important in there. Something I
Fuck
haven't
does
found
Kuno
yet.
care about your hunch? That's your shit. You figured it out. Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit.
I don't care about what
Kuno
he's
doesn't...
on. Let's look.
The trash container. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags,
We'll
and
go through this
organic
again.
waste.
Okay. Look
You
under
see
there.
milk? No. Search. Good practice for dump.
Dive
A
further.
box falls into pieces in your hands. Batis sol. You see milk and egg rest. A box falls.
Okay,
Not
this
much
one.
to see here anymore. It's just organic waste. Nothing. It's nothing. What's this?
Oh! What?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something. Something larger. A clipboard.
Oh.
A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
I don't know what this
It is. Look, the plastic has the RCM street
Oh.
grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there.
Well, that's
If you
handy.
don't mind my asking, how could you have let your paperwork end up in the trash?
It has a foreboding quality to it. Maybe I need to lose it for the great bloodletting to begin. I think I want to be a cop anymore. I just want to say
What
that.
are you talking about?
I speak it, the tongue.
Doeth thou also thorough inventories? You should take stock of your notes. Make sure it's all there. Official notes contain informants' names. If some of it has fallen into the hands of the RCM's adversaries, bloodletting may well ensue.
Okay, I'll do
It would
that.
also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and select the Interact tab to read your paperwork.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
Oh, Jesus. Well, let's see. A white envelope stamped attached to an upper right corner handed to you by Everett Clare. Inside is some legal documents with 2 names printed on them. Okay, that's not the right one. This one. This is a ledger you found in the trash. It's full of notes written in a man's dense cursive. Have a closer look. Maybe it can salvage some start keeping notes in the case.
It's the ledger you found in the trash.
Okay.
A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard.
Gross.
It's a metaphor for you.
That's rude.
Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart.
Inspect the
It's
toilet
just
paper.
toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
Maybe it's kitchen tissue. They look exactly
If
the
you
same.
want it to be kitchen tissue, it can be kitchen tissue. It's not, though. It's toilet paper.
Take it
Still
off.
wet, the toilet paper, I mean kitchen tissue, sorry, peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off your finger, and voila, the ledger now looks marginally better.
Inspect the clip.
An aluminium block runs
Not
the width of the board,
aluminium.
biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip.
Run your fingers over the aluminum.
The surface is interrupted by a
I can't
silvery
believe they would say
sticker.
that to me.
It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances. It is similar to the RCM watermark on your blazer the lieutenant mentioned. Didn't he say something about the headlights of his motor carriage? That you can read these there?
Lieutenant, is this one of the hologram watermarks?
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property.
What kind of
It
information?
depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved.
Maybe I have my
How
address.
many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
How can I
Any
read it?
capable light with the right wavelength will do.
You mentioned the headlights of that car.
Yes, RCM vehicles have headlights tuned especially to reveal halogen watermarks.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Okay.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight.
What about the
They're
white
not
papers?
exactly white. They're yellowed in patches
Ooh.
by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What is in there? What are they about?
Work, strife, poverty,
Poverty.
the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year.
Okay, this
The
is
exact number is hard to estimate, due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases, undertaken, not completed, mind you.
Oh.
It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
What about the
Yes,
naming
it
convention?
appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from Snoop fiction and Vespertine
Snoop
cop show
fiction.
staples.
Well, what do they say?
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
More?
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the Ukar parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout.
I'm a
It's
writer.
going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Is 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant?
2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
Well, I don't know if I
2.
complete any of them.
That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me.
I'm sure I've made
It's
mistakes.
okay. We all make mistakes.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
You
Naming
mean the
conventions.
alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
Non-numeric ones.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Why is
It's
that?
a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves. Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself.
That's
I
crazy.
pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened
Rail
to him?
spiked through the head. He died.
Jeez!
It was a workplace accident.
Count the pages. I have to open an official case. Is there
There
room?
is, for precisely one more.
Well, how
15
lucky is that?
pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete.
Commit to paper.
Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event.
Kim, do you have a pen?
The lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder, like large caliber bullets on an ammo belt. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
Can I have one?
Know that I give this to you with resentment.
With this booty, commit
The
to paper.
tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen in a brash freehand uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple. A language developed for mental rigor and simplicity.
This is how I imagine I write my books, but literally, it's the furthest in the opposite direction.
Inspect the victim's body. Get the body down. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
Cross out the ones you've already
A
finished.
satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Have you named it,
No,
Lieutenant?
actually.
The
Any
Hanged
ideas?
Man. The Furies are at home in the mirror. The setting sun. Shit on a stick. Setting sun.
Okay. It's a good name, but it has one problem. This case has nothing to do with the setting sun. At all. It has nothing to do with that, so something more concrete, perhaps? Do you have something concrete? Mundane, usual?
Usual is boring.
Shit on a stick.
Yes. I have to tell you, officer, I don't appreciate ironic titles. Other officers will have to use this as reference. If it's idiot or cockfinger, they're not going to get it. They're going to think an idiot and a cockfinger were on this case. So, do you have something less funny?
This one.
Furies? Yes, well, I don't know. I have to be honest, I'm not experiencing the internal strife that it refers to. And also, could you make it less poetic somehow?
What?
Just a normal case name, you know? Think, what would that be? A good normal name.
Yes, yes. You know what that normal name is. But it's so plain. Anything else, please.
I don't have another name.
Well, then maybe I can suggest one.
Let me guess.
That's actually what I was thinking.
Oh.
The Hanged Man. I like that. A good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling
can't
it the
believe it.
Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
I can't believe you.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Browse the case files
Arson,
again.
petty
Nope.
You don't exactly close them.
Yellow.
In the back, you see thin, translucent copy of paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms,
Oh,
waiting to be filled out.
I assume I haven't filled
Then
any.
rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form.
What type of forms are there?
3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of.
Can I give Kuno a misconduct fine?
You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250
I
real.
want to give one to...
Severe cases
boy.
allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields, but they appear pleasantly vague.
Thank God. Station
These
calls.
are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing.
Oh, I might give him one
All
of
in a
those.
print so small it could be considered downright cute.
And then a
A
field
dozen
autopsy.
pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form
What?
waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers,
Kuno.
interview requests for bad guys,
Kuno.
and field autopsies to dead guys.
Kuno is getting
The
one.
rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper.
Kuno's getting one.
It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with.
Okay.
The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back, you see the embossed letters, RCM.
What did you say the color was?
Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it.
Shake the ledger.
Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? And something small inside? Light, made of paper or cardboard? Or dried flowers, perhaps?
What?
Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if something happened to it. The
What is it?
plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center.
How would I open
With
it?
your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board.
I'm gonna smell it.
The acidic stench of rotten food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner. You know, like the bits they put into public piss bowls, probably called Fermi Discrete, or Axel, or something. At some point in its journey, the ledger has seen the inside of a public toilet.
I know. Sylvie already told me I dunked in the toilet. Shut up, nose. I don't need your help. I don't need anything. I don't need anyone's help.
Your nose does not understand what it did wrong.
Okay, let's read the case files.
Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric
smart.
code on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41.
Okay.
Then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the Next World Mural.
Weren't those officers' precincts?
Why, yes, your precinct number is 41.
An HDB?
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
Oh!
Harry Dubois, HDB. Still feels like there's something missing from that.
Okay, we're not gonna look at all these.
Not
real
much
now.
has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still.
We're fine. We'll read those in a little bit. But I want to read whatever this hidden message is on there. And I think we can call Old Girly back about the armor.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
How to turn the
All
headlights
right.
on.
Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
Okay.
He's downplaying his excitement. The lieutenant is more than happy to show off his precious carriage. The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Canadian comes to life with a whiny growl.
That was fucking terrifying.
Like a leopard waking from its sleep, yawning and roaring at the same time. The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
Okay.
Inside,
Oh.
you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone. As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears.
Okay.
A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
All right.
There she is. Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations.
Look at the shimming street
The
grid.
rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights.
Look
A
around
rat
you.
brazenly darts past you
Ew.
and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than the child's cry.
Ah, Martinaise.
Where are we on this?
Let me see. Right here.
Near the top of the map. Sure, I've seen worse.
Oh, yes. Coal City. Le Royaume. The burnt-out quarter.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows.
Tally up the
The
different
first
rows.
row has 18 dots.
Not bad.
Not bad for what? You don't even know what it means yet.
It means how many cases I solved. Next
The
one.
next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some.
Count 'em.
You count 216 perforations. Considering that nice, large number, a wave of pride washes over you. Though you can't say why, precisely.
What's
The last row
last?
has 3 perforations.
That's it.
That's it.
Hey Cam, do you know what these holes mean?
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
Alpha male officers who are proud of their numbers.
Alpha
often
male.
do. It's meant.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
18 years I've done this. Got drunk like a megastar. Walked the land telling whores and liars of the end to come. There are 9,855 days remaining. I was a hobo and lived under a boat. Probably as some boring office stuff. Same as everyone else. I feel as I just went around apologizing all the time. I told them when the end would come.
Cool. I'm glad you joined us. Not a lot of money in doom crying. Let's move on, shall we?
He didn't like my old
This
profession.
next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see, wow, more than 200.
216 to be exact.
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
See, I told you I was a superstar
Call
cop.
it what you want. You were a valuable member of your precinct. Now, let's look at the last row. Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there.
So I'm a
For
killer.
an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way.
Well, we need to bump that number up with Kuno.
There are certain officers
Get
who
him over
treat
here.
their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
Maybe I should pour one out for the boys.
If you want to pour out the booze you've been carrying around on duty,
I gotta.
I'm certainly not going to stop you.
Yes.
A dark pool of cheap wine appears at your feet. It shimmers in the lights of the Kanema.
I had to. I don't know what I lost, but I had to. I'm so sorry for killing you. The gloaming comes for all, but it came for you first. I will make it okay with the power of the rock and roll. Here's to you, undead. And rock and roll.
Very noble of you. Are we done here?
Have you ever killed anyone?
Yes.
It's not a problem for him to state it, however.
How did you handle the
Everyone
string?
has their own method of coping. Some more effective or self-destructive than others. Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Like what?
Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now.
Maybe I should find a
Why
hobby.
not gardening? You've already got the yellow gloves.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab.
Thanks.
The lieutenant nods.
Okay, let's go.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
You can now see your statistics on your journal page.
Ooh. On my journal page or in this?
It's the ledger you...
They mean in this, right? All right, here. Is this what they're talking about? Wait a minute. I want to know if I can give Kuno a ticket. Because fuck that kid. For real, for real. Kuno, get your ass over here. Go to jail.
Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno doesn't...
Of course I can't. I would very much enjoy giving Kuno a ticket, getting him the fuck out of my life. But alas, we cannot. We have to open this car and call that lady about the armor, though.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Do you find any more about the armor?
Not yet. But I was able to convince the database people to share private sector information. They promised to get back to me by tomorrow morning. Do you have any other questions?
Call me to
Just a second,
Sylvia
officer.
again. Sylvie? Is it Sylvie?
Sylvie Malaika on the line for you, officer. Yes. Hello?
It's the police again.
Oh, great. What else do you need, detective?
Have you seen my
Yes,
badge?
I know who you are. You're a police officer. The law.
Wait, how did you first learn I'm a police officer?
You told me back in the whirling. You told everybody. And so does your badge. I don't need to hear about it anymore.
Have you seen it?
Oh, no. I haven't, sorry.
Okay.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours?
Kim doesn't have a uniform.
He's in plain clothes, voluntarily. It's different from not knowing where your uniform is. There are officers who wear the signature Perseus black uniforms to the highest ranks in the RCM and end up buried in them as well. Others do it more casually. Looks like you're one of them.
Have you seen my gun?
No, not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun, detective.
Stop crying, bitch. First of all, I showed you my gun. When did it
You
happen?
were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating, and
And what? What did I do?
you were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes. It got pretty graphic.
You're fine.
I remember this.
You're fine.
You were screaming things like, "My brains are all over the wall, painting them red. I won't be seeing it, 'cause these are my brains. I can't see without my brains." Very nice visuals there.
And it's not that
Some
bad.
poor sod was trying to eat his pudding while you were screaming, spit flying, imitating the mercy shot
myself.
right next to him. Spat some in his food. I don't think he touched it after.
Why would I threaten to kill myself? I mean, look at this world. I'd love to stay. Okay, but what happened to my gun?
idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like big bucks cannot lie and guns can't buy money, but money can always buy guns. It almost looked like you pawned it, but believe me, I did not ask.
Have you found? I found my patrol cloak earlier, but have you seen my policeman's uniform?
I never saw you in any uniform. You had your things on, the disco things.
Okay.
You hear the call breaking up on the other end of the radio, and then the already familiar voice.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
I'm done.
57's over and out.
In the cabin, you see
Okay. Alright. I can level up. I don't know what to level up, though. So, let's see. Check twice. So, let's go check. It's in here, right? Isn't this the door? I'm confused now. It is. Rats, out of my way. This way.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
Perception. So wait, why can't I do it? Did I just waste a point?
The bear's
That's okay.
eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
Try to remove
I
its
thought we
boots again.
decided to leave it to processing.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can sneak out of your room maybe after he's gone to sleep.
Would I have to do it another day? I can't see what that says at the bottom. I put a skill into perception. Wait, what did I put it into? What did I put it into? Rhetoric? Nope. There. That's okay. Was that perception? I'm confused.
The bear's eyes
Aha.
are still
There we
glowing
go.
red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
Let's look at it one more time.
Your arms reach out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, slippery flesh, first with your fingertips, then under the palm of your hand.
What is this?
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a spider, your hand crawls over his features. Everything is silent.
Crawl into his nostrils.
They are swollen shut. You need to really push to get in.
Push him in.
Only the little one fits. The flesh changes shape as you bore in, searching for something in the cartilage. The thing you're looking for, it's not there. Crawl out, spider.
Put your finger in his mouth.
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop.
Ew!
You're on the right track.
Play with it. This feels
The
right.
tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, delicate to touch. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone in the gums. And in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. Look in.
Okay, let's
A
look in.
vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your naked hands and studded with teeth.
Okay.
Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from the throat. And there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate, you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened. An abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
An abrasion
I see.
collar? What is that? Touch it with your finger gently.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound.
Put your finger in.
Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brain
Ew!
stem.
Feel around first.
The basal ganglia feels
What is
clumpy.
that?
What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex. This man will never sleep again. Never wake.
Push
Your
deeper.
fingers slide into the remains of his limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres.
There's a cavity cut right down between the hemispheres.
The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Push deeper.
Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow.
wiggling.
Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex
Ew.
feels like jelly. Cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger.
What is it?
Sharp, serrated material. The edges cut right into your skin.
Feel the solid object right under the skull.
Can you get to it?
Inspect the skull first.
There's a tiny crack, a protrusion in the cranium, right in the back of his head. Your finger must be pointing straight at it from the inside. The object that is in there stops just short of the skull, in the encephalus, knocking this tiny fracture into the cranium.
We have the makings of a very small exit wound here.
Let's try it. Yes. What is it?
You pick the object between your index and middle finger. It feels sharp, like metal. With your face twisting from pain and concentration, all you need to do is just...
Slowly pull my
The
fingers
inside
out.
of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth, covered in blood up to the wrist. Between your fingers,
He got
a
shot?
small flower, a blossom made of lead.
A bullet.
Drop it in. So he was shot first
The
and then
bullet
hung.
falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes
And
and
that's-
says,
And that's why he didn't struggle when they hung him up. Those people could just carry him even though he was so big, is because he was shot dead first, and then they hung him.
A non-caliber. Rifled. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact.
Can I have it?
Of course. You've earned it. Looks like we need to add one more item to your injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion collar. Soft palate, back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
Sounds like heaven.
Opinion, fatal injury.
Look at my hand
We have
quizzically.
extensive tissue destruction away from the wound track. We have a bullet.
Goddamn right.
And one last thing. We can now fill in injury number 3. Ligament mark. Opinion non-fatal. Post-mortem. Treatment.
Exactly.
he's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
Yeah, it was all treatment.
Yes, and the belt around his neck. The hanging. Even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
I agree.
I have had my doubts since you showed me the tracks. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him, I thought. There was no satisfying explanation. There have been other signs too. Small things. We were right not to assign hanging as cause of death, as the
Yee.
perpetrators expected we would. No such luck for them.
We didn't fall for it, he thinks. There's pride in there.
We're
There is,
smart.
of course,
We're
the
smart.
very real possibility he was both shot and hanged.
Maybe they
To
shot
put
him when
him
they
out
hung
of
him?
his misery? It's possible, but it doesn't explain all the other dubious things. here.
Right.
Lack of struggle, primarily. I may be intellectually sloppy, but I prefer one theory at a time. And this just smacks of treatment to me.
Who would do this?
That's for us to find out. But this, it will make finding them just a little easier. To
Why?
hide something. The real killer?
Ooh.
The real motivation? What really happened here?
I think I need to wash myself.
You really, really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening.
Maybe the bullet holds
Yes,
more answers.
we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
What happens
We
next?
bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day.
You'll be gone. What should I do in the meanwhile?
Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this. I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
Thanks,
After
friend.
you bag the corpse, Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks and even the main case, but it might be more difficult. Plan his exit accordingly.
You can go for now, because it's already night, so we might as well send him now. Like, it's already dark, there's not much we can do. We can go buy a book and read it or something. Because I do have a task for reading about cockatoos. Okay, so go ahead, Kim,
All right.
take it.
There go those beautiful enamel boots. You will never own the full set now. May they rest in processing.
It's fine.
I will need a little help carrying him. You take the hands, I'll take the legs.
I don't know if we could ever get the boots. Kim really didn't want us to get the boots, and I don't want Kim to be mad at me. I'm sure people got the boots or something. I don't know. Bye, Kim. Oh, let's go this way. I need to scroll out. I don't know if we paid for our room tonight or not. I'm just gonna assume we did, and I want to see if there's a book about cockatoos in here. Man, we got a book about cockatoos?
Hello again, esteemed officer. A book about cockatoos? There should be one upstairs, right next to the shelf of biographies.
Thanks. Is it that?
A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It looks as if the bird is calling out the book title, From A to Zurich, a guide to a well-behaved cockatoo.
Flip through the
Turns
pages.
out that there are so many different cockatoo species, and they all have behavioral problems.
Oh, this
It's a
guide.
must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious.
I guess I'll buy it.
Oh, a nature enthusiast. Good choice. I knew it was a good idea to keep that around.
Okay. Thank you. I don't know if I paid for my room, but we'll see. Maybe we'll just smell like nasty for the rest of the game. Also, let's go talk to that lady down here. She's over this way, right? We can see what else she has to say. Wait, have I ever looked at this? Okay. Hello.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Got some questions about reality.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Conceptualization. What is...
What is all of this? The scent, the sound, the air.
What world is
What
this?
world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. And its pale antipode.
The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
What do you see?
Great bodies of water. Forest-covered surfaces. Clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough. There is a term of endearment they coined for it in the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included.
What is it?
Elysium.
Disco Elysium. This world needs a term
It
of
does.
endearment.
There are those who would call it hell.
What is hell?
A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists.
I don't feel like I've got the whole picture yet.
Oh, you want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit.
How come?
Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways.
What shape is the
We
world
used
in?
to think it was a sphere, but that is beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s.
ORG, Occident Revachol Grad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three scientific contributors, they're piecing together a dark grey corona.
A dark grey corona?
Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
A cold fear seeps into you.
What do you mean by the pill?
They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness. I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound.
And then everything will be okay.
I don't know about things of that scale. My expertise lies in nations and trade routes, one or several layers below everything. But yes, we'll be fine. Don't worry.
She does not seem convinced that you'll be fine. If anything, she's realizing how deep your condition runs.
Thanks.
You may have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it.
Does it sound like any kind of disco I like to go to? I don't care about disco. I can only care about commune. Well, if you say it's disco.
See, everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world.
Disco Elysium.
However wasted its opportunities.
Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides.
What are you?
What I am not is a basic term of reality.
Huh?
There may be a way to get her speaking about herself at some later juncture.
What is
The pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality. It is the opposite of reality.
Okay, but what is it? A definition?
Okay. The pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, detective. The separative tissue between the isolas. It is the inter-isolary mass.
What is the isola?
Isola is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7. Mundi, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde.
An Insulinde is...
An oceanic isola. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear.
What is the pale like?
Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
Is it here?
No, detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the Isola.
As your gaze instinctively turns north, a small black pit opens up in your stomach.
6,000 kilometers from the end of the world.
Yes. That is enough. Many cities are built much closer.
And there?
An uproar of matter, darling. rising into the pale, rolling, evaporating even, a great vision. The area of transition between the world and the pale is called porch collapse. Imagine a grey coronal mist, cold vapour marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism, a mould that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
If we're surrounded by the pale, how do you get from Isola to Isola?
Oh, it is so difficult for us.
A squall of birds. Hardware operating in the harbour. Firm. Self-evident.
It is possible to force dimensions on the pale.
What the fuck?
In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the pale without getting lost or having our minds damaged.
What's its physical
It's
quality?
difficult to describe
This
or
is
even
crazy,
measure.
dog.
Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic.
Epistemological. I don't even know what
The
that means.
further
ma'am.
into pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension, right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible.
There's a slippery article in there.
Is it the pale or pale?
Pale when it's particular, this territory of pale. The pale when it's pale in its entirety. Once you've seen it, language balks at the difference.
And it can damage your mind?
Extensively.
How?
Some say the damage
What is
stems from
happening?
extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter. They call it the blend over of the self. The pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past.
Who says and who argues?
Who says and who argues?
The logical positivists say, the dialectical materialists argue.
What does this over radiation feel
It
like?
feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travellers to 6 days of pale exposure per year.
It's more for her. Way more.
You're not a civilian passenger.
No nameless detective of the citizens' militia. I am a member of the entreprenetic business class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of pale transit annually.
Are you over
Up
radiated?
to my gills, officer.
How much? Okay, what's that?
Entreprenetics is the scientific study of the pale, or a
Okay.
recent iteration of it by way of grad. The study of the pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
They had not travelled the entire circumference of the Pericarnassian super-isola. It was not merely in the west, it was everywhere, even then, surrounding them.
Did they cross it, the Western
There
Plain?
are signs of pre-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
What has it changed?
Nothing.
then?
We remain powerless before the pale. The only real advance in pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later.
A plane?
Hybrid airships, detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near pale to far pale. In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely.
And if we do
Then
not?
they don't.
Oh, God.
Gone, like a skipping stone beneath the surface.
It's like the Bermuda Triangle. How much pale is there compared to the
The
world?
pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping.
Slipping how?
What do you think, detective?
It's shrinking. There's more and more of the world. There's more and more of the... is growing. There's more and more of the pale.
Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate.
That's
an intuitive
crazy.
conclusion of that development is that one day the pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists.
It's gonna happen, I guess. It would
Most
have to.
people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same.
Off we go. You see the hanged man's mouth open.
Off we go into the pale, wide pale
One
yonder.
and all. They say pale is death, but for the universe.
Why should we just leave, and the world get left behind?
Let's return to reality,
Yes,
please.
sweet reality. But before we do, tell me, Detective, is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
I'm getting a sense of who I am, but no, I didn't know this.
Beyond curious. Tell me, what do you think of the pale?
It's terrifying. You're right, it's disco. It will be the end of all life. It continues to persist at all is a testament of our faith in one another. Its advance can only be stopped with immediate, total, ruthless communism. A powerful anti-communist force, perhaps too powerful, but still they have it coming. I'm worried, I have to say it. It doesn't sound very liberal to me. I don't know how to feel. I don't know how you all survived with it. It's a huge accomplishment. Who would think I... It's rather disco.
Mm-hmm. You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective.
Why?
If you don't know even this, then...
This investigation will be my masterpiece. This one, remember, I promise.
hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him and he is very competent. In the meanwhile...
Some of that assurance is meant for herself, as much as it's meant for you. She must have a lot on the line here.
You have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
That's all for
Glad
now.
to have been of assistance.
That was crazy. I feel like I just read the beginning of a very thick high fantasy novel and none of it sank in. But I think it sank in, but none of it sank in. Really. Truly. Like, I get what they're saying, but I don't. We have two more things to do. Oh, what's this? There's something down there? What? Hello? Well, I don't know how to get there. Well, let's see. She said that I might have pawned it. I don't know if I pawned it, but we can check. My gun, that is. I like how I said it. Like you guys know what it is. Or do I remember that we pawned it? Oh yeah, we did pawn it, but he sold it to someone. I think someone bought it, yeah. I think that's what I remember. So we're gonna read this book about cockatoos, which is here.
You sit on the wind-worn wooden planks of the bench. Your feet ache.
Well, how do I read it? Interact.
A cockatoo is a parrot with an erectile crest, found on the Seminine Islands and in southern Fas a la Mer. Known for their intelligence and general precociousness, cockatoos are popular birds in aviculture. However, they often exhibit various behavioral issues. This book talks about the delicate nature of toos, as well as introducing some of the most popular species among the bird enthusiasts. The funeral cockatoo, the major majestic cockatoo, and the most common bang-bang cockatoo. it's colorfully illustrated. Despite its banging name, the bang-bang cockatoo is actually the shyest of the species, common in almost all Seminoles forests, as well as zoos and
Ain't no
homes
way we're about to read
all
all
over the world.
this.
Its plumage is mainly grey and white. The Seminoles name, Bang Bang, is thought to be of onomatopoeic origins.
Well, isn't that one of our things, though? Go read about cockatoos in bookstore. You maybe discover something new about yourself as well. Your working class woman said you are a bit of a cockatoo. Is that true?
A cockatoo is a parrot. This book talks about the delicate nature of where to even begin. All cockatoos are known for their needy
Will you
natures,
guys
requiring
mind if I
attention
just skip
for
through
at least
this?
2
I don't
full hours
really
a
want to
day.
know about cockatoos.
They love to talk and have been described as
I can handle
pet
them.
owners also report moodiness. It is not recommended to get a cockatoo if you're not able to cook them food every day and give them the full care that
There has to be
you're
something
right.
great.
Cockatoos are magnificent creatures. They love to perform.
Oh.
Ouch. That must hurt.
They perform cuddle shop, often as loud as when they're
Not great for the neighbors.
funeral cockatoos.
This is a yellow... Ooh.
There's something indisposable, ominous, major,
Perhaps,
majestic.
in the words, it must be glorious to behold. Yes, but all those cockatoo species are so different. Which one are you?
Major, majestic. Here I come.
You're right. Your Majesty embodied. This big, beautiful bird belongs
big
on
and
your
beautiful.
heraldry.
Yeah. Well, we did that. Keep asking Joyce about reality. Map? Cafeteria window. Heroic. Oh yeah, that's when we're talking to what's-his-face. What do you have to say, you fuck?
Looking for something, Aunt?
Let's go in. I want to make sure that I paid. I don't have enough money to pay, but let's go in and wash the smell off of me. I think that's something we should do. And then we're going to end the day. Then we have lots more. Oh, what's happening? I want to sing and dance. Who's that? Oh, I can't talk to him. What are you?
Can I help you? You're already set for the night.
Okay, I'm already set for the night. That's all I needed to know. I also got to figure out how to talk to this lady upstairs. Who's on the roof. I don't remember if she's this door.
The door is closed.
Who's... People are having a good time. Let's go in my room. Let's wash this stank off of us.
This is not the cleanest bathtub in the world, but it's cleaner than you are right now. Ah, that soap scum smell. It smells like life.
Ew!
At least compared to you.
Run
The
yourself a bath.
bathtub slowly fills with water. The water beckons. The water is only lukewarm, but still comforting. Like amniotic fluid. A few beer cans are bobbing up and down along your flanks. Like sad duckies. You feel nice and lonely. And so tired.
Take the beer can
Now you are alone with your thoughts in the tub. But it's easier than being alone with your thoughts outside the tub. Your fingers grow pale and are covered with tiny whirls as the water cools. You see the corpse.
Oh,
you can
God.
still smell the cadaver. Then, houses along a narrow street.
Oh?
A video rental. Darkness on the planet's curvature. The waterline recedes as you stand. You are cold now. Your clothes stick to your still moist skin. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face.
No, I can't do any of those. I have to find my badge. That may take a while. I haven't found anyone I can ask about that tattoo. I don't think. I don't know if we should go to bed yet. Let's just do a real quick run real quick. See if there's anyone new to talk to. Not that bitch over there. It's all about money, you know. I'm sorry if you heard my neck just break. I just cracked it. Who would know about tattoos? What does he have to say? Oh, wait!
Right to work! Right to...
Wouldn't old boy up here know? He has a bunch of tattoos. I wonder if he'll let me know. He has a bunch of tattoos.
Your race descent has temporarily halted, but you will fall again.
Sure.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Measurehead, I'm new to this world. Help me understand its race. I need to know what kind of different races there are.
There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need education on? Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun, of course. The Maun are riddled with eczema to the point where they find it impossible to smile. They are all lactose intolerant, a common result of inbreeding. A receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street. The Vespertines, the other overproduction, as proven by the Maun and the mess. The Areopage, the Latin.
Nature was not capable.
You need.
I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know about it.
Wouldn't he be one for ethnostates?
Revachol.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history?
The revolution came to Revachol from Gra. The enough of tips. It would be cruel. You under.
I don't
I
care.
cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss, Tiber Revacholian. Your love for disco music and venereal disease?
What happens if
The man looks at you, silent and unmoving.
You are not Santiago.
Okay, well, he knows Santiago. I don't care about that. I just wanted to talk about tattoos. He obviously didn't want to talk about tattoos. And I didn't want to know about all the races. I'm sorry, sir. I have no interest.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
I don't know who I would ask. I can't ask that guy. Would this girl in here know?
Is this about...
Who knows? I don't know. We're just gonna go to bed and end the episode. Go to the next day. I don't know what else we can do, and this episode has been going on for over an hour already. So let's head to the bed. And then it'll be Wednesday. We can go to the waterlock thing. Maybe we'll talk to the Hardy gang, whatever, the Hardy boys.
The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting, but
Let's go to sleep. See what kind of jewelry.
the bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window. The mattress creaks as you close your eyes and try your hardest to fall asleep.
You'd be like that sometimes.
Here we are again, my broken bud. The waves are coming, carrying you away. But you can't go. No, you have to stay. Always half aware of yourself.
Why is it so scary?
You're not cooperating, brother man. It's your disgusting body.
What?
Even through your sleep, you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly and your sides are unpleasantly tender.
Same though.
You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of safety. But you cannot, because of the pain.
That pain in your right side is your enlarged liver, by the way. As for your kidneys, you've really been compounding the damage lately.
Boy, do I know that too.
Every cell in your body is moaning in agony, asking, what did we ever do to you?
I'm sorry.
Now, you're finally thinking about something other than yourself. Let's see how far that'll get you.
I think I need medical attention.
Oh, yes.
Ow!
They'll check you out, give you some pills, make it all okay.
Not this voice.
The Wonder Makers.
Don't be stupid, Harry.
Oh, God.
It's not happening. They don't make new kidneys and livers in hospital.
They give you
All
transplants.
you've got to do is pray to God it passes and stare at the flickering darkness.
You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Could try looking at other people, really looking. But why would you want to start doing that?
I will. I'm looking at people all the time. I like them.
Sure you do. They're all so friendly, aren't they?
This makes me uncomfortable.
At least they're interesting. Each one has a process just like yours, running in the space between their ears, full of secrets. People are beautiful, statuesque, parodies and tragedies of themselves. A great democracy of creatures.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lights, blinking in and out of existence. Thoughts! You're just pretending that you're asleep, even to yourself, while the world goes on without you.
Let it. Let it.
This is fucking terrifying.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings. Rock and roll.
That was terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Absolutely.
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. The morning light hurts your eyes.
Oh.
It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn buildings.
Well, let's leave our room and end the episode downstairs. Is Kim back? Well, maybe, I don't know where his room is. Let's go downstairs. We also need to figure out who else was able to be in that trash. Oh, Kim is here. Oh, who are these people?
Yes?
Nothing. Well, there's new people to talk to. And I'm sure a lot more things to do. But we'll have to do that in the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.